Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Alrighty, today I wanted to get into this topic of sports cards and the crash versus one of the big crashes in our lifetime, which was the real estate bubble. And I want to examine card prices during that time frame, especially the high-end cards. I'm over at pwccmarketplace.com. They have an index, or they have a search query which is linked back to eBay, and you could find all these card sales on there. Over 200 million transactions. It's pretty cool. And I just wanted to do some research. I want to see, okay, how did these high-end cards trade back then? I wasn't paying attention to it. I was focusing on trying to find a job at that time when I graduated. It was one of the toughest markets to graduate until the coronavirus hit, COVID-19. And if you look at some of the prices here, I actually looked at it before this video so I could tell you what's up. It peaked in October 2008, close to $6,700. Just imagine if you were smart enough to pay $6,700 and now that card is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's probably a steal, man, even when the market was crashing. And if you look at where it bottomed out, let's go February 8, 2009. The stock market bottomed in March. So it sold at $5,100. And I'm not looking at other auction houses. I'm just looking at the eBay sales. So we saw approximately 24% decrease. Not too bad. While the sky was falling, like the media was saying. I'm looking at Mickey Mantle, 1952, 311 PSA 5. If you look at in 2008, it seems like it's a centered card, so it may have had a higher price, but it sold at $17,000. And if you look at a year later, November 1st, 2009, it went down to $16,000. The thing about these cards is, especially the mantles, there isn't too much liquidity. So sometimes you may see these wild fluctuations in these cards. Jordan's a little better because you have a little more liquidity. There's a few hundred PSA 10s. And let's look at another card, an iconic card, the 1955 Topps number 164 Roberto Clemente PSA 8. And if you look at the card price where it was right around the top of the stock market, November 5th, 2007, it was close to $5,000. A year later, December 2008, it actually went up to $5,700, $5,800. And then in the summer, weird thing, it went down $600 to $5,100. I just find it quite interesting that the price of the card didn't go too high after the market was recovering. Okay, now I wanted to look at the PSA 10 for Michael Jordan today. And this is once again off of eBay. April last month sold for $375,000. As you remember, in January or February, when Gary Vee was talking a lot about the Michael Jordan card, saying that it could go to $1 million, it topped out at about $700-something thousand. And it cut in half within a few months, $375,000. And let's look at the latest golden auction here. The Michael Jordan card, the highest one was $461,000. The lowest actually was $288,000. And then there was one a little above it at $336,000. So we went from $700-some thousand to about $288,000 within a few months. You notice here where you only saw a 24% reduction while the stock market was crashing. We have a stock market that's going up. Granted, the cards went crazy the past year during the pandemic, but things are normalizing in the economy now. So I wouldn't be surprised if $288,000 for this card, we'll see this card go even below $200,000. And if the stock market crashes, I would not be surprised if it goes below $100,000. And then if you want to look at today, for the Mickey Mantle card, there's not that much liquidity in this market. PSA 5 sold for $58,000 in October last year. September, $52,000. So this card, if it were to come onto the market with the PSA 5, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a steady price because there's low volume on this. Now, speaking of the crash in 2007, I'm looking at the HEX, the housing index, the 260 in 2007. Is gradually going down from 2005, 2006, when you had negative interest rates, and the stock market bottomed out in March. And look at it, went from 240 to about 60. The thing is, with the housing index, with the homes, with the housing stocks, there's a lot of liquidity. There's millions of shares traded. Like for this mantle, not too much liquidity. So trying to find a price for this is probably very difficult to project. And another graph I want to look at Franco-Nevada. Like I told you, I follow the gold market closely. This is one of the gold stocks. It's more of a financing arm for gold companies. Regardless, while gold crashed, this stock from 2011 to 2015, when gold bottomed out, you see that this stock held well through the crash. So what am I trying to get in here? And this market crash that we're seeing. Sure, the market has crashed right now, but what can we perhaps deduce from what I'm looking at? For the cards that are low in liquidity, such as this PSA 5 mantle, these cards, in my opinion, should hold steady during the coming stock market crash, the continuing decline right now that we're seeing in the overall card market. I think cards like these will be good. Now, when you have a high volume card that's still high in demand, I still am in the belief that these cards will go down. I don't think it's going to trade the same way that it traded in 2008. And at that time, the bubble, like I told you, was in housing. And you can see, like when a bubble bursts, it pops hard. And the gold market, I was part of it. I got hosed. I'm not going to lie about it. I've lost money in that. Surely the market has rebounded. So I'm starting to make money again in this. But it looks like the quality stocks held value at that time frame. And sure, it helped that the stock market was going up while the gold crash happened. But a lot of the gold miners got smashed. Maybe except this. I'm looking at the chart from 2011 when gold was going down. This stock price went up. It had difficulty in 2013. So the thing is, during this time frame, if I were to buy a scarce card, I'm going to potentially look at cards that don't have too much liquidity, that aren't overhyped, that it's really quiet on the Western Front. Unlike the Jordans weren't quiet. You had a lot of celebrities chasing, a lot of rich, affluent people chasing that market. And if I'm going to buy a high-end card, I probably won't go to Golden, but I may look at potentially some Ichiro cards. I may look at some scarce tennis cards. Tennis cards have gone down as well. So that's what I'm looking at. Ultimately, I want to find value. And the value is in these scarce cards, some of these serial numbered cards. I did a video on serial numbered cards. And it may sound obvious, but I see a lot of people still being aggressive right now. And I am very risk averse as of this moment because I don't think the card market has bottomed out for some of these high flying cards like the MJ cards. And the Mantle probably could get away with it because you don't see too much of these cards floating around, and the market, in my opinion, will get smarter. The high end people, they're not going to be chasing these Jordans at $700,000. Now, will that Jordan, in my opinion, go up to over $700,000 in the next decade? Yeah, I believe so. It will, and I'll talk about why I think some of those cards are going to go bananas later this decade. But right now, we're in a time frame where it doesn't make sense for me to go aggressive, nor do I have the cash to go aggressive. Anyways, guys, I want you guys to let me know what you guys think. If you like my video, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll talk to you later. Guys. Thanks. Bye.